Here I will introduce how to bind the transmitter with the helicopter. First you need this one. Please plug in the receiver like this. Okay, next we will connect the battery. Power on your transmitter. Press hold to unlock. Click here, RX bind. That is okay. Plug out this one.
When you set this controller up for your first machine, it automatically defaulted to Model 1. So what you need to do is make sure your machine is off, make sure RX has a question mark, as you see right here, it has a question mark, and then you go in here to Models. Now this for yours should automatically be on Model 1. So now you're going to set up a second machine. So you go to Model 2, you back out of it, and then you go to RX. Now at this point, you're then going to put your bind plug into your machine. You're then going to turn the machine on, at which point, after the machine is on, you're then going to go to RX bind. Oh, sorry, you're then going to go to RX bind. Now, once that binds, that's going to bind it to the Model 2 that you just set. Okay? Then you pull your bind plug out, and then you go into your controller and you make all your fine adjustments. You go into functions and you do your endpoints. If you do want to reverse something, whatever it is you want to do, you do all your settings. When you turn the controller off, those will now all be saved for Model 2. And then let's say, down the road, you want to get another machine. Same thing. You go to Systems, you go to Models, you go to 3. You go all the way up to 5. Okay? So you can do up to 5 machines on one controller. All right? So just remember, you go to Models, switch it to the new model that you're about to establish, at which point you then plug in the machine that you want to bind and make sure the bind plug is in the transmitter, receiver. All right? And then that's that.
Models has 10 channels, so you got 4 channels on the joysticks up here. You got another 4, that's 8, plus you got 2 trims, that's actually 10. And then at the back you do have 2 switches you can assign if you actually wanted to. So that makes completely 12 switches but 10 channels. Now if you power this radio up and if you get this particular reading, there's nothing wrong with the radio. It just tells you that the switch position is not right, which means you just put the switches away from you and it will actually start away straight away. So all it is one of these switches are not in the right position when you power the radio, and hence it's giving you that particular warning. Now these 2 joysticks are actually the first 4 channels. They're assigned from 1 to 4. Now if you want to go to the 5th channel or 6th channel, you have to go into the auxiliary settings, which I'll show you, and you can assign these switches from there. But the first 4 are actually connected to the 2 joysticks. Now there's another trick which is very important. You have to slide this screen apart, and now you'll see that there are channels here 1 to 6, and you can scroll up, it goes to 10. Now this is a very important screen because it actually shows you what channel is connected to what control on the radio, because these switches or joysticks or these dial knobs, these are actually called controls. So if I move this particular joystick, I can see that there's a mixing function here between channel 3 and 4. So they're going opposite to each other because I've assigned these to the tracks, and you can also go the same way to the same channel. So that means they'll all both move at the same direction. Right. So that's what this particular window is for. You actually go into the main screen, which is this is the home screen, and then you can actually scroll through, and that will come into your display screen that shows you all the channels. So I can see up here 3 and 4 is connected to this joystick, and then I can also see that 1 and 2 is actually connected to this particular joystick up here. Then I've got the pump, which is on number 5. Then I've got the next one, which is the sound for the particular dozer on number 6. I can scroll up. I've got this on number 7, and then I haven't assigned anything to number 8, and then I've got the 2 slides up here on number 10. So that's what this particular screen does. Now let's go a little bit more into the advanced features. So if you go and hit into the settings mode, you'll get a heap load of settings up here. Now the key thing you want to understand here is the auxiliary channels. Here you can see straight away from number 5, because the first 4 channels are hooked to the joystick. So if I hit 6, it actually shows you switch B. So these particular switches are actually named A, B, C, and D. And you can just select the channel and then you can select the switch. So that's the easiest way to actually do it, is to actually go to number 5, make this A, make this B, make this C, and make this D. That's the best and the easiest way. Then you know the sequence is going from left to right, and then you can already select this thing. Now how do you actually select it? It's very simple. You actually click on the switch. So the first one, NUL stands for null. That means if you want to deselect anything and come back to not selecting any switch, you just click on that. STX stands for sticks. SWX actually stands for switch, which are these things. VRX is actually these 2 dials on the top. Key, I don't know, I haven't worked it out yet, but I don't use it, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter in my application if you're using a dozer or an excavator, so I don't think it's that important. But if I find out, I'll probably do another video and be able to share with you what the key actually stands for. So you click on the switch, you can select for that channel what do you want. You want null, you want sticks, you want a switch, you want a variable switch up dials up here, or its key, which I don't know what it is. And then you can select the switch, whether it's A, B, C, or D, right? So that's how you would select the channel and then assign the control and then assign the switch to that particular control. So very important and very handy to know this particular tip. And then you have the mixing channel. So you've got the master and the slave. The master is a channel that will actually control the slave channel, and the slave will actually follow whatever the master does. Failsafe is basically if you want a particular position when you start the radio, that's what the radio will actually be in when you actually start. You won't be able to go into the next section or do anything into the radio until you've met that particular demand or that particular condition. Throttle curves is something that we don't really use. Mixers for mixing all the channels. You got the trims, you got the sub trims up here. You got the end points, which is basically at the end travel of your servo. Reverse is very simple. You can just hit the button and it'll actually reverse the direction of the servo. So for example, if your track is actually rotating in the wrong direction, you can just hit this particular thing, it'll go reverse, and the track will move in the right direction. It's basically just reversing whatever the current rotation or direction or the position is to whatever you want it to be. That's pretty much the home screen. And of course this tells you the transmitter version, and if you want to upgrade it, you can upgrade it. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple. There is a tap port up here if you want to put a radio. It's a standard, I think so, 5mm or 1/8, I can't remember the thread size. It's pretty standard for cameras, and it's the same gimbal that'll fit in there to monitor or mount a screen or a camera on top of.
This is the maiden of the H2 on my V3. So GPS now 23 star for the CAN GPS. For the UA, wait more few minutes and see. So I think it's quite stable. The star count is quite stable now. GPS mode, standard feeling. This is the hand feel, soft, standard and sport. Now I'm using the standard. Let's have a look. This is my FW450 version 3. So I'm testing using 5000 milliamp 3-cell battery. So still flyable. H2 with a UART GPS and the CAN GPS at the behind. So in the software setting, this one will be the GPS 1, this one will be GPS 2. So take note on that. This is my setting with a Type-C cable all the way to my PC. Okay. This is my radio from the ready to flight combo. I'm create memory model number 2, so I set this H2 under model 2. It's a V3. This controller I'm using also for my model 1, which is the Airwolf version 2.5. Okay, so from the software, let's have a look. I will quickly go through. So basically, when you connect to the H2, press disconnect. After that, you need to select your COM. Once it's successful connected, it will show here success. So for the first setting is the home. You can see there is a compass and the altitude meter. So when I move the heli, it will move. Okay. When you tilt and forward, backward. Okay. So when you rotate your helicopter, the compass will show different reading also. From here you can select the color scheme. It's a light mode or the dark mode. Here you can select your language, English or Chinese or other language. See, you can see light color or deep color. Okay, this is the deep color tone, light color tone. So this one is the language. Now only have two language, English and Chinese. Okay, there is nothing much for the setting here, only the throttle. Now my throttle setting default is 60%. You can see 60%. If you want to increase the hovering speed, which is the idle speed, you can increase here. Pull the bar. Okay, let's go to the radio. Okay, for this radio setting, you can check on your control. Okay, you see channel 1, left, right. Channel 3, up, down. Channel 4, left, right. Channel 2, left, forward and backward. And this one will be the GPS mode. Switch, 3 selection. This one also. This one GPS, 3 selection. This one is the feeling mode, which is the soft, standard and sport. So normal flight we will use the center one, which is the standard. And this one is motor stop and run. Run, stop. And very right side, this one is the return home. This is normal GPS and this one is return home. Okay, so it's very simple. Now you can see radio is done. Go to this rotor. From rotor here, you can select your source plate type. For my V3 is HR3. I hope you can see HR3, and this is my setting. You can see my setting all done here already. You can click this one to change the setting. The servo back to center, you press this one to center all your servo. Then when you do the direction is correct, or you want to reverse it, you use the button here, these three, to control the thrust plate according to your thrust type. For the collective, you need to set the maximum position and the negative position, maximum positive and maximum negative. After this have been done, you can come to tail. Okay, for FW series, always using tail motor. Here you can see tail motor, and this is the default. The idle ring for the tail motor is 10%. Okay, I'm using this one, no change. So now go to the sensor. From here you can do the calibration for the compass. When you press the start, then you will do the rotation 3 side of the helicopter. Once it's done, the bar will be fully, then it shows it's complete. You can click the automatic restart here. Here, the automatic restart. Okay, if you in the outdoor, you can see the GPS status. GPS 1 and 2 is connected. You need to power on your helicopter. If you never power up your helicopter with the battery, you won't see the connection here. So now I'm at the outdoor. My connection to the star, which is the GPS count, which is 26 for GPS 1, 32 for GPS 2. Okay, and here is very important. The distance for GPS 1 and the GPS 2 to your main staff. The main shaft for the rotor, GPS 1 is 21 cm, GPS 2 is 15 cm for my setting. Okay, for my preference, I'm turn off the low battery alarm, this one, so it won't trigger the low battery return home. This is my preference. If you want the low battery return home function, you need to turn on this one. So the main rotor RPM estimation, here I put 2500. That's all for my setting here. So we go to the parameter. Okay, all this parameter is default. Okay, only the auto rescue here, default is 15 meter, which is 15 meter. I changed to 10 meter. That's all. All this is default. And these three special function I'm turned off currently, which I will turn on at a later state to test it one by one. That's all.
Stay cool out. Why my worst enemy waits for me? Yeah, talking too loud, showing the world that he's in charge here. Your face can't deny it. No matter what you say, their eyes don't show lights. No way, you can't disguise. Recycle all the hurt that bursts from the side. That's all you